Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize we were rolling. I guess I messed up. Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. It's great to have you with us. So, oh my gosh. I haven't messed up like that in a long time. Everybody needs to have a day they mess up. So, oh my gosh, welcome. Every time that this person comes on my show, we have such a good time together. He's an incredible musician. More important than that, because there are things more important, not too many, but he promotes other people's music. He gives other people credit where credit is due when it comes to making music, and he supports local music in the biggest way. So we'll talk all about that when he comes over to talk to us. But I just want you to really enjoy the spirit, the soul, and the amazingness of our guest tonight. He's going to bring you some great music, and then we're going to talk, and we might laugh a little bit. That might happen. It does. So please welcome into your heart, into your home, and into your life, Mr. Frank Critelli.
Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
I think we should laugh a lot.
I do too.
About that?
I do too.
Good. It's very nice to be here, and it's nice to see you again. And thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
This is a song. Today we happen to be taping this on July 13, which is the full buck moon. This is a song that I wrote about the strawberry moon.
Which was last month.
Which was last month, exactly right. And this is actually three different things. They're all true stories, but they didn't really happen. They were sort of, although they were real, they happened sort of surreally. And this is a song called Frank Critelli's Dream, number 1, 2, 3. I dreamt I saw St. Joseph. He was loading up a van with blisters on his hands and ever strong and ever gentle fan in the man. And then I saw the Virgin Mary. She was driving in a car, returning from the grocery store, so beautiful, maternal and adorable. I was there when their eyes met. It was love at second guess, and I could see that they could see they were blessed. And I dreamt I was friends with Da Vinci. We sat in my backyard, he'd beat me every time at cards. Talked of love and death and God and stars. And then along came Albert Einstein, and we got drunk on Chardonnay. They talked all night and the next day, and I listened, but I didn't dare to say. I dreamt I was there when their minds met, sparked with a shared understanding. Birth and death are accidents, life is random.
under a strawberry moon. But the words came out all wrong, and no one liked the song that I'd written and had practiced for so long. And then we all drove home, each of us alone. And we thought about our words and what we saw and what we heard, and we realized a miracle occurred. That we were there together, all in the same room. We're better or worse, that connects us in the universe.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Absolutely.
This is the first song. This is kind of the first song I ever wrote.
That one?
No.
Oh, this one, your next one.
That one I wrote a little while ago. And this one is a song that I wrote in North Adams, Massachusetts. And there's a few stories I like to tell about this song. But for now, I think
looking at a picture, is it me? Is it me? Looking at a picture, is it me there on the beach? Looking at a picture of myself and see a stranger. Looking at a picture, feeling older, sensing danger. Picture, if you will, the sleeping sands and a rainbow. Picture all the universe while turning your kaleidoscope. Picture the changes that you've gone through and will go through. Picture the music and the song you call yourself. Picture yourself much older and silver gray. Picture your life somewhere far, far away. Picture your children and their children and theirs. Picture what their life would be if no one ever cared. Looking at a picture. Picture a tree, and then a forest, and then a mountain. Picture all of these things leveled for a shopping mall. Picture a village, and then a town, and now a city. Tell me, which of these would you rather make your home? And picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees, marmalade skies. Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope eyes. That's the John Lennon part. Looking at a picture, is it me? Is it me? Looking at a picture, is it me there on the beach? Looking at a picture of myself and see a stranger. Looking at a picture, feeling older, sensing danger. Sensing danger. Feeling older.
You're welcome.
I'm just realizing something, that most of these songs are about three different things at the same time. And I think this next song is like that as well. So 3 verses, they're all about sort of 3 different subjects. But this song is a little bit different because all of these things happened on the same day. And that day was January 9 of 2020. All right. And this is a song called Another Day in the Life.
I know you don't talk about your feelings much, and that kinda sucks, but I shouldn't look to you for my self-worth. You swallowed what you were going to say and promised that you'd tell me later when Lucy in the sky falls down to earth. And I know there's so much that you don't tell me, so I'll invent the stories all myself. But history isn't what concerns me, it's what happens from here when the path is unclear. And I need to know before I spend another day in the life. This bar is like a gallery, there's so much to see, so much beauty, and it's hard for me to handle before dusk. I'm looking forward to the show tonight, we'll have some drinks, it'll feel alright, but let's get out of here and grab some lunch. You know the old expression, beast of burden. How far can you load a camel's back? The answer to the question is uncertain. You wanna know how far is too far when you've gone just a little beyond. And it might kill me if I spend another day in the life. Dead metaphor like a horse, or dip a toe into the same stream twice. Who knows where the lightning will strike, or sense a sudden change in the tide, and it's all we can do just to survive. I know you can see behind my bluest eye, through my disguise, and I'm careful of the vibes that I put out. You pretend not to recognize, but I know that you're the right size to peek over the walls that I put up. Grand pursuits at first may seem foolhardy. Love and art are awfully high ideals, but they're hard to quit once you've got them started. Persistence might seem less extreme than trying to change horses midstream, and it might kill me if I spend another day in the life.
Oh, good. I'm happy about that. Does she know that I have a new EP out?
You have a new EP.
I have a brand new EP out. Yeah, just
We'll talk about it when you come over.
okay. Good.
Talk about it now too.
I'm gonna play a song off of it, and then we'll talk
Awesome.
about it later. How's that?
I'm going to go live,
All right.
so you can talk about it and be live.
Live and on tape. All right. Well, this is a song called "Lost Weekend," and that's also a John Lennon. This is a thematic show, I guess. A lot of John Lennon references today. "Lost Weekend" is a John Lennon reference to his lost weekend when he and Yoko sort of split up, and he was hanging out with May Pang for a while. I have May Pang's book. It's a bunch of Polaroid pictures of her time with John Lennon. About 18 months, I guess that long weekend lasted. But he did some great things during those 18 months. And this is a song sort of about that. It's about estrangement, sojourn, a sojourn, and then coming back to yourself. And I guess maybe Cat Stevens wrote about that too. Yes, he did. All right. So this is a song called "Lost Weekend."
Well, I know the man that you wanted to be, but can't you see? You're already here. The uniform you're trying on, the part you're playing, it's all wrong, just be. You're already here. But it's alright. Take your time, lost weekend, 'cause you will find a peace of mind exactly where it's always been, right inside you. Well, I understand. I know how it feels, the ache is real, but easily healed. I take these words from a friend, and I won't bring the subject up again. We've got fences to mend, but it's alright. Take your time, lost weekend, 'cause you will find a love and light exactly where they've always been, right inside you. La, 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 la.
Woo-hoo. That was awesome.
Oh, good. Thank you. I'm going to try one that I don't normally do in front of people.
Well,
I mean, like a lot of people. I've done it in front of people before. This is a song called "Speechless," and I wrote it for a friend of mine's wedding. By request, he requested that I write a song for his wedding. So I said, "Well, give me a little something to go on, Like what's your deal, man? Like, what's your relationship like? What's,
yeah.
give me something." And he said, "All right, let me think about it for a while, He thought about it for a clean month. I'm not even kidding. Like a month went by, and I didn't hear from him. I reminded him a couple of times, too. And he just said, not yet, He came back after a month. He's like, "I got it." He goes, "She shuts me up." I'm like, "That's it? That's what you want me to go? She shuts you up, And I thought that was pretty lame at first. But then I realized I've been trying to shut that guy up for like a decade.
See?
And
See?
she shut him up. You know what I mean? So that was pretty good.
It's pretty profound if you think about
Yeah.
it.
All right, so I'm going to try this one, and it's called "Speechless."
You are to me a warm summer daydream, a peaceful corner of the world. I wish I had the sun and moon to give you, but I don't even have the words. And I am speechless when I look into your eyes. Speechless, you took me by surprise. Love is the sweetest silence I've heard, and I wouldn't trade it for any other word. And I am speechless. I've searched for love everywhere, and it wasn't in the banging of the drum, and it wasn't in the silence of the thunder. It wasn't in the room or in any of my books. It wasn't in the songs I used to sing. It's in your whisper. So come with me to the end of the rainbow. Hold my hand and be my friend. Where our heart is, there will be our treasure. Love will never end. Love will never end. And I am speechless when I look into your eyes. Speechless, you took me by surprise. Love is the sweetest silence I've heard, and I wouldn't trade it for any other word. And I am speechless.
Thanks. You know that I also play with a trio called The Bargain.
I do. I happen to know that.
We're working on, I think we're working on right now one of the best records of our lives collectively.
Nice.
And we'll talk about that the next time, but I'm going to play a couple of Bargain songs that I know how to play. I'm only the singer in that band, and Muddy Rivers plays all the guitar, but I know a couple of them. And this was the first song that we ever wrote together, me and Muddy, and it's called Seeds. And this is a song about gardening, because I'm a groundskeeper. And sometimes when you're working in gardens and stuff like that, other things pop up, you know, like where you least expect it, you know. And I always love it when some like really beautiful plant kind of seeds itself. And sometimes even the annuals do it, you know, like annuals, we think we throw them away at the end of the season, or we just dig them up and get rid of the carcass, you know, of the dead plant. But sometimes they seed themselves, and it's kind of miraculous. And you can never tell when some beautiful flower is going to pop up in some crazy place. And this is a song about that, and it's called Seeds. And this one's written by The Bargain.
The wind blows, and I know where it goes, but I can't say. The secret is too important to give away. and it may grow from seeds that you've planted, and it may grow by accident. You may not know exactly how it happens, intention or coincidence. Unmoved mover remains unknown to you and I, and best laid plans of mice and men can go awry, and it may grow from seeds that you've planted, and it may grow by accident. You may not know exactly how it happened, intention or coincidence. It may grow from seeds that you've planted, and it may grow by accident. You may not know exactly how it happens, intention or coincidence.
I like that song.
Oh, good. Thank you. I like that one too. I have a good time writing songs with those guys. This is another song that's a bargain song. That was an older song, the first one we wrote, but this one's on the new record and it should be coming out in the fall. And we're real excited about it. We think it sounds pretty good.
And when it comes out, you'll come back here and bring the guys, and we'll have a
I would love
really
that.
good show.
You know, I love spending time with you, Dot. And thank you for all you do for me and for everybody. You know, this is a song about bucket lists. You know, I think you get to a certain point in time, and you start thinking about, sheesh. You know, I've been doing all this stuff for other people. Like when do I start to check off the things that I really want to do in my life? You know, things I want to see, or things I want to achieve, or you know, faces I want to try on, or something like that. So this is a song called Before I Die, or One of These Days. You can call it either one. One of These Days, parens, Before I Die. And it's about doing all the things that you kind of want to do before you have to shuffle off this mortal coil.
One of these days I'm gonna sit right down and compose a poem. One of these days I'm gonna get busy being born. One of these days when the sun and moon are in the same sky. One of these days when all my tears have up and dried. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days before I die. One of these days I'm gonna swear and dare to pull out the gag. One of these days that cat's gonna claw right through your bag. One of these days when the wind whimpers through the pines. One of these days when time takes off and flies. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days before I die. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days before I die. One of these days, I might just jump up and shout. One of these days, I might hop that train that's headed south. One of these days, when the rainbow turns upside down. One of these days, I'm gonna turn it all around. One of these days, 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 one of these days. I'm going to do one more and then can I come over and talk to you? Does that sound
I was just going to say the same thing.
Oh, look at that. We're on the same page.
We really are. We always have been. So,
All right.
yeah, please.
That was a bargain song, and this is also sort of a bargain song. I wrote it, and I normally the bargain writes songs together, and there's a separateness there, I think, to a certain extent. You know, we record all the songs that we wrote together, but this one is the exception, and this is called the Muse. It's on my solo record that's out right now, but the bargain does the definitive version of it.
Okay.
My version sounds like a demo in comparison to what the bargain does with it. And this is a song about Euterpe. Now, there are 9 muses, you know, and Euterpe is the one that delivers songs. She's the bewitcher of men and the inspiration, I guess. I didn't know what it was called, but I was glad when you called. And I called you back. No one could predict. One drink could lead to that kiss on your neck, and I almost didn't recognize a familiar look in faraway eyes. But I knew you were someone else in disguise, and there was no turning back. Froze a young muse in time and printed out in black and white your photograph, and I wished it was me on the other end of that line, 'cause I'd call you back, painting pictures, drawing lines. But I felt compelled under your spell to harmonize. Sunset turns to sunrise in the lowlands, and your sad eyes on the rocks, on the sand, on the shoreline. Face to face and from behind, under shooting stars and moonshine. that kiss on your neck, that kiss on your neck, that kiss on your neck.
Woo! All right, well, Frank's putting his guitar down and micing up and all that good stuff. Let's talk about what's going on in the hood. Listen, if you live in this community, then you need to know that there are all kinds of entertainment type situations going on that you can go to. And most of them are free. Really? Yeah. So the summer concert series is at the Hygienic Art Park every Thursday. And yeah, check it out all the way till the end of August. Also, the Social doesn't usually have a cover, and they have bands Friday and Saturday. Philomena's never has a cover, and they're Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they're outside. And there's a bunch of festivals going on. July 30th, is that this week? I don't know what date it is. Anyway, July 30th, Americana Festival on the Farm is on Belgian Meadow Farm. It's 6 acts, 1 day of music. I can't tell you the price because we're on public access TV, but let me tell you what. 6 acts of music, it's like a couple of dollars an act. Let me just put it that way. And this is the first annual. We're hoping that it's a success. It seems to be, and we'd like you to come. So go to AmericanaOnTheFarm.com, or you can find Americana Festival on the Farm on Facebook, etc. Yeah, I'm doing a little advertising. It's my festival. I put it together, and I'm really excited about it. So let's see what happens. Anyway, check out your hood because there's music every weekend, all the time. Sometimes Tuesdays and Wednesdays there's music too. Check it out. Get out there and support live music, and check out galleries too, because they have art made by your neighbors. Now we're going to talk to my friend, Mr. Frank Critelli.
Hi.
So good to have you back in house.
Nice to be here.
Oh my gosh. So the last time that I saw you was at an old church, Hoot for Hunger.
Yeah.
Or Pass the Guitar. Was it a Pass the Guitar?
Yeah.
That's
But,
wonderful.
Food for Hunger, it's the same sort of deal.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. What makes you do things like that?
I don't know. You know, why does anybody do anything? I feel like when you have a chance to give to the extent that you have received, I think it's important to probably do that. And I think that people's basic needs should be taken care of.
I do too.
And there's no reason for hunger or homelessness. And we should do what we can to erase those things.
We should, you know, just because I work for the Homeless Hospitality Center in New London County, and I see the devastation in the faces of the people that are homeless. Most of them, not because of fault of their own. Most of them, especially now with COVID, through fault of government agencies not doing their job, Veteran Affairs definitely not doing their job. I think that Veteran Affairs better step up their game. And I'm saying that on public TV. I have an attitude.
That's okay.
Sorry.
No, I think it's important to say those things out loud, you know what I mean? And
Someday,
you're absolutely right.
I'll get arrested for it. I don't care.
That might be kind of cool. That's part of your lore.
Do you know how many people? You know how many people would come to bat for me if I got arrested for saying stuff like that? It would be
People
scary.
have gotten arrested for some really good causes, so I would
I'm
support.
down with
I would
it.
support your arrest.
Yeah,
on that.
I know you would. So let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you and your music. I'm so excited that you and the Bargain are putting out a new album.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
It's really cool. We're working with some other musicians now. We're kind of stepping up our game a little bit. We've always heard bigger arrangements of our songs in our heads.
Yeah.
Although we've been primarily an acoustic trio.
Right. For a while. You've been
Yeah.
here before as the bar.
Oh yeah, sure. And we'll continue to do that because it's fun. You know what I mean? It's kind of the brotherhood.
Yeah.
But now we have a Bobo on bass, and we have
Oh,
Jim
he's
Stavros
cool.
on drums.
He's been
great.
here.
Yeah, and Mark Mirando's going to play some piano with us. So we're gonna make a bigger sort of sounding record, and it
How
feels
cool
kind of
is
good.
that?
It's
Now,
a lot of fun for us.
When do you expect that to drop?
I'm expecting sometime in the fall, and we're doing a kind of like a CD, like we're doing a hard copy, so we're kind of having like a CD release show on December 3rd.
Okay, so the week of Thanksgiving, that Monday, you should come into the radio station and we'll blast it out.
We would be thankful to do
That
that.
would be so much fun.
That would be
So
fun.
we'll do that.
Cool.
Frank, your songwriting is, I want to use the word unique, but that just doesn't cut it. Your songwriting is one of a kind, and it's introspective, and it tells a story all the time. Do you feel like your music is autobiographical? Is that a word? Is that the
Yeah.
right word?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that the
that's a
right word?
Absolutely. It's funny, like so many people have said, oh, you're a storyteller, or you tell stories in your songs. I never really felt like that. Guys like Shandy Lawson are storyteller songwriters.
Yeah,
Where there's
he's
characters.
amazing too. I want
and,
him on this show.
Sure, there's beginnings and ends, and things happen to people, and they die, and stuff like that. There's only one character in all of my songs, and I'm pretty sure that it's me. So although some of them are maybe literature-based or something that I have observed in the world, and not necessarily something that has happened to me personally, I think that there's an autobiographical aspect to
Yep.
just about everything that I write, because it goes through my filter.
I think your Muse song is kind of autobiographical, but I think that your muse is not just a muse for seducing men. I think that muse connects humans that should fall in love.
Maybe.
I think.
Yeah.
That's just an opinion.
Well, I always thought the muse as a seductress of humans.
Absolutely.
But, to live like sort of that romantic kind of life, not just the lovey-dovey stuff.
Right.
But,
Oh, I agree.
But the romance of poetry and, and stuff like that.
And a blanket on the sand.
Sure.
And birds flying over that just happen to connect.
Right.
All that good stuff.
Trees, breezes,
Yep.
stuff like
Flowers that seed.
that. Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. How did you see? I know that you used to teach school.
Yeah.
How did you go from being a school teacher to being a groundskeeper, and why?
It's a terrible, terrible story. It's a terrible
Really?
story. Oh yeah, I felt like, for a little while, philosophically speaking, the public school system and I had been kind of parting ways philosophically.
I
They
agree.
were going in a direction that I didn't necessarily feel comfortable with. Couple that with, like life difficulties, like divorces and,
I do.
and
I
difficult like
understand
that,
those.
So I left teaching after 20 years, not because I didn't like the job anymore. It was a great job, it was a great job while it was great,
Yeah.
I got difficult, but lots of jobs get difficult, The most important part was the kids.
Of course it was.
I just didn't feel as though I was capable of serving my clients to the level that I had been accustomed to serving my clients. So it's something that I had to back off from. When you're dealing with humans, there's no room for error, You can't phone it in. You have to be on your game 24 hours a day, 7
I
days a
agree.
week, especially when you're dealing with young people, and developing people and stuff
Yep.
like that. So I always said that if I ever felt incapable of doing the job, that I would leave before it got terrible. Like some of the teachers who hang on just because, they hang on for 35 years, like looking for the retirement or the blah, 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 whatever it is
Yep.
on that end of it. You know what I mean? Like, I've got to do this. So I jumped out of the job, maybe early, but at the right time.
But you felt good about that.
I feel good about it now. Yeah.
Okay.
At the time, it was incredibly difficult. And I took a groundskeeper job just because, you know, I kind of want it to be outside. I want it to be something different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Try on a different hat. Every now and then, I would look out the window of my classroom and see the guy mowing the lawn, and maybe be even a little bit envious. You know what I mean?
I understand
and
that.
the one thing I like about being a groundskeeper is that during the course of a day, I can think my own thoughts. I'm not thinking about assessments, and I'm not thinking about designing lessons, and thinking about having a hand in raising a bunch of other people's children. You know what I mean? I get to think my own thoughts, and I sing to myself, and I write poems in my head.
I bet you
and,
do.
you know, I talk to the birds, and, you know.
And they probably talk back to you.
Sometimes.
Especially the crows.
Oh, especially the crows. Yeah. You've been reading articles about crows, right?
I have.
Oh, yeah. They're practically as smart as like dolphins or something.
They're amazingly incredible, and they recognize humans. And
Oh, yeah.
And they never forget a face.
Be nice to them. They'll mess you up, too.
They will. And if they like you, they'll bring you gifts.
That's right. Yeah.
They will. Usually it's something shiny.
And they
So
can work vending machines and stuff.
They can, and they do.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Crows are cool. So that's very cool. Do you feel like your music has the ability to change someone else's life?
It's changed my life, so yes.
Okay, good.
And other people's music has changed my life, so I can only assume that there's transference, you know.
I agree. I agree.
And I can only hope, you know what I mean? Like, this is, when you think about it, this is kind of our legacy, you know what I mean? I don't have children of my own or anything like that. This is what I leave behind, you know what I mean? So hopefully it changes something, or just improves something, even if
Right.
it's just like your daily day.
And then you did your bucket list song, and when you said that, I was like, I don't have one. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm doing it to change the world,
Nice.
right? But then I thought a little bit deeper, and there's stuff I want to do.
Sure.
Like, I want to go back to Norway. Ancestors. the whole
Norway.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never
Yeah.
get to Norway in probably my entire life. That's
Right,
amazing.
maybe we
yeah.
should go together. We'll take
Why
my
not?
wife, we'll take whoever you want to
Okay.
take, and we'll go.
I'm in. There's probably
do
a
it.
couple of gigs there.
Yep.
I
You
would
think?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I got connections.
All right.
So when you start to write a song, where do you start? Do you start with a thought? Do you start with a melody? Do you start with a concept? Where do you start when you write a song?
It happens all different ways. Sometimes during the course of a day, you'll get a lyrical idea, and I'll talk it into my phone.
Okay.
Or I'll hear a melody, and I'll hum it into my phone so I can remember it later.
You'll hear a melody in here.
Yeah, I
Or
just
you'll
start-
hear a melody from the birds.
Well, both. You know, I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand jazz better now that I'm listening to the birds more often. You know, but yeah, you know, just something you just start humming a tune. You're like, maybe that's mine. I haven't heard that one before. You know what I mean? So you hum it in your phone. But my favorite is when it happens all at the same time. You know, when the feeling comes over you and you're like a lightning rod. You know, and it kind of comes through you and you don't even think about it. Like some of my favorite songs that I've written happened in 5 to 15 minutes, you know? And you couldn't write it down on the paper fast enough thinking that you're gonna forget it, you know?
Right.
But that's when I know that, Billy Joel said something about that, like songs all exist and they're sort of floating in the air above you, you know? And you just kind of have to channel them and like write, you know, you don't write the song, you just write it down.
Right.
You know, the song already exists, you know what I
The
mean?
song happened because of a muse.
Maybe.
I think I don't have that ability, but I see things like putting together this kind of a show or my radio show. More importantly, this came together because I didn't want it, and the radio show came together because I needed it.
Right.
I couldn't play the piano, I couldn't play the trombone, I couldn't sing. You know, none of those things could I do well enough for me to do them, but I can play the radio.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that drives me. But, yeah, never mind.
Well, no, and for people of our age, I think radio is really important, you know what I mean? I went to sleep to my clock radio for 15 years, you know what I mean? From, you know, age 6 to age 21, you know what I mean? Something like that. And it was really, really important, you know?
It still is.
Oh,
I
sure.
have my car radio on. I have my house radio on. Radio is important, and people are getting away from it. And I listened to that Sirius TV radio in somebody's car a few weeks ago that I'd never listened to before because I because I don't.
Right.
And I was like, this is missing something. It was missing that human aspect. And I
Right.
think that radios with DJs, especially independent stations, freeform stations that there's so few of anymore, are so important for getting singer-songwriters and independent music out there, because they don't have the money to go to the big. Who cares about the big producers? Who cares about them?
Right.
They're producing yucky music, if you ask me.
Sometimes.
Yeah, what's going on? Top 40 radio is pretty bad
Well, it's
for the most part.
shooting for the lowest common denominator. It's candy, and everybody loves candy. I'm into candy, you know what I mean? But every now and then I want a steak and potatoes, you know what I mean? I need
Right.
something a little bit more to chew
That's
on.
when we listen to freeform radio.
Exactly, exactly. And and a lot of that stuff has gone online, so like here in Connecticut there's cygnusradio.com and stuff like that. And there's online stations, and there's college stations, and there's independent stations, like WCNI, WERS, WPKN. We could go on, and we
Right.
could name a bunch of them. And they're all great, and they
And
still have DJs that are live, so there's that immediacy of the live performance. And as a disc jockey, that it's a performance. You're writing a
is.
set list to take your listeners someplace.
Absolutely. And people are like, yeah, but you just play classical. I'm like, yes, I do just play classical, except when I have people in. But let's tell the listeners, the viewers, about your radio show.
I get to host the local band show with Rick Allison on WPLR. And the local band show has been in existence since about 1987 or 1988, depending on who you
Long
ask.
time.
A really long time. And we're not the only local, local bands show, but we are the longest running, And I've gotten to do it for a good long time, since James Velvet passed in 2015.
Yeah.
And it's one of the pleasures and honors of my life,
And you guys keep a running list, and your list is about all the local bands that are playing and new people that are dropping music. And I love the fact that you're always putting out new music. I love the fact that you play with the bargain. And I love the fact that you come here and we always run out of time, and I never get to talk to you enough about what I want to talk to you about. But you will be coming on to WCNI. We'll bring you and the bargain back here onto the TV show.
I would love that.
And make that happen. Tell Muddy Rivers I hope he feels better.
You got
I'm sorry
it.
he couldn't be here today. And I already have you booked for the second annual Americana Fest on the field.
I'm in.
Yeah. I'm so excited about it. So, again, we've run out of time, and I would be honored if you would take us out with a song.
I absolutely would. Thank you very much.
I love
Appreciate
you,
it.
Frank.
I love you too.
I know. It's a mutual admiration. 2 presidents and no members. No. 2 presidents, no members. So do me a favor. Check on your neighbors. Love your community. If you see a piece of garbage, a dirty mask or whatever, pick it up. Throw it in the garbage. Let's keep our streets clean. Let's take care of our neighbors. Let's support local music. Let's support local art. Let's love each other. Be kind. Have a great week. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.
And fight the power.
When the floodwaters rise and we'll all go fishing. If the house burns down, we can warm our hands. When someone does us wrong, that's the time for forgiving. When the world gives us a licking, we'll do the best we can. Daddy always told me, now son, take a listen. Life isn't always easy when you get to be a man. There's things you ought to know, and sonny, I ain't kidding. You better learn them now, or life will kick you in the can. When the floodwaters rise and we'll all go fishing. If the house burns down, we can warm our hands. When someone does us wrong, that's the time for forgiving. When the world gives us a licking, we'll do the best we can. Living is a gift, it's best to take your time. There's no sense in wasting even one day in worry. A smile is the only way to keep yourself from crying. When the floodwaters rise and we'll all go fishing. If the house I wake up every morning and I get myself some coffee. Later in the afternoon, I drink myself a beer. When evening rolls around, then I'm sipping on a whiskey. Some people say that's bad, but it keeps me in good cheer. When the flood waters rise and we'll all go fishing. If the house burns down, we can warm our hands. When someone does us wrong, that's the time for forgiving. When the world gives us a licking, we'll just do the best we can. Cloudy day, sunny day, it doesn't matter anyway. I gotta ramble on and experience the world. And when I come home, I'll tell you all a story of how I cracked an oyster and I found myself a pearl. When the flood waters rise and we'll all go fishing. If the house burns down, we can warm our hands. When someone does us wrong, that's the time for forgiving. When the world gives us a licking, we'll just do the best we can. When the flood waters rise and we'll all go fishing. If the house burns down, we can warm our hands. When someone does us wrong, that's the time for forgiving. When the world gives us a licking, we'll do the best we can. We'll do the best we